Байден!
Зовут тебя.
Байден! Я
Куда
тут.
смотри?
Я тут. Посмотри на меня. Возьми автомат по-боевому. Стреляй вот туда. Стреляй. Стреляй.
A Ukrainian Air Force MiG-29 roared over the Sumy region, unleashing precision strikes on Russian positions in Unakivka. The attack dealt a heavy blow to enemy forces, paving the way for a fierce counteroffensive. Ukrainian troops have been pressing forward in the Sumy direction, pushing the occupiers back and regaining control of the battlefield. In recent days, they have liberated several settlements, raising the national flag once again over freed villages. The combination of relentless air power and determined ground assaults is steadily forcing Russian units to retreat, marking a sharp turn in the fight for Sumy. Elderly Russians are going to war with the explicit intention of getting killed so that their family get a 5 million ruble, $68,800 compensation payment. It's too much even for Russian war bloggers who complain about how pointless this is. Very elderly men, as old as 72 years, have been signing up and dying in disproportionate numbers. Not surprisingly, they do not make good soldiers, as the thread linked below discusses. Pioneer of the Reserve writes, I want to talk about some sad but true things. Things that might affect people in the spotlight, but that's okay. This concerns the volunteers who are going now, and they all have different motivations, which I have also spoken about more than once. There are real men who are going to fight with their heads, and they know what they are going for. But I want to talk about those who have nothing to lose, who are 50 years old and older, who have spent half their lives drinking alcohol or something else. I and other comrades and commanders have talked to many of them, and they are asked, why are you going there? You are, roughly speaking, a burden, and you can't even walk 100 meters. The answer is striking. They say it's to leave money for their families. Well, you understand the motive, right? Is that good or bad? It's good that they think about their families, but it's bad that they don't understand that because of them, normal guys who are in the same assault group with them could die. Evacuation teams are dying trying to get the wounded out. Combat grandfathers who can barely walk are dead weight and a burden that drags combat groups down. They often can't even make it to where they need to go. But here, there are more questions not just for them, but for those who recruit them in the first place and assign them not just anywhere, but to the very front line of the assault. Why and for what purpose are you doing this? To report that you have recruited enough volunteers? It would be better to take fewer, but better quality guys. It would be much more useful. And this problem is not only about physical unpreparedness, it is also about psychological resilience, reaction speed, and learning ability. Old habits and established views are difficult to change, and in wartime this is critically important. The time for retraining is limited, and every mistake can cost lives. A dilemma arises: humanity and compassion versus efficiency and expediency. On the one hand, people cannot be denied the right to defend their country, even if they do not meet the criteria. On the other hand, the ill-considered recruitment of incompetent fighters leads to unnecessary losses and reduces the combat effectiveness of units. Where is the line, and who should determine it? The question remains open and requires serious analysis and a review of approaches to army recruitment. Alexei Sukhankin notes that the Wagner Group was wary of recruiting men over 40 and would recruit over 50s only in exceptional circumstances. He attributes the current indiscriminate recruitment to the Russian Ministry of Defense's arbitrary recruitment quotas. In an effort to report to the president on the established number of volunteers recruited, contracts are signed with anyone who expresses an intention to join the army. People's motives are understandable. They are displayed on banners in every settlement of our vast homeland. But the quality of these recruits... My personal opinion about the quality of these recruits is confirmed by the military itself. At training grounds during their training and at the front, I see a lot of older people, many of whom, in addition, have been actively friends with ethanol and other means of bringing themselves into an altered state their entire lives. I have personally witnessed situations where these volunteers, dressed in armor and equipment, could not take a step, let alone take action. Their instructors try to teach them something, but to no avail. Their age and background prevent them from retaining even the most basic knowledge. The guys who train the volunteers, mostly veterans of the special military operation, sometimes just give up when they see a complete unwillingness to learn the basics of military science, which could save the lives of these recruits. And they are sent into battle. They are unable to orient themselves in the situation, incapable of doing anything useful for the purposes of the assault, and ultimately sacrifice their lives without any benefit. And then the evacuation teams die trying to pull their bodies out. I may be a little harsh, but forgive me. I've had enough. The concept of 100 recruits has long since ceased to be synonymous with 100 trained soldiers. During the mobilization period, when the army was a cross-section of society, the percentage of competent fighters was much higher than what we have now. Something tells me that this trick needs to be repeated if we want a breakthrough in this strange war. Operators of Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade in Kharkiv region discovered a well-camouflaged Russian tank and flew an FPV drone between its turret ring and hull, triggering ammo detonation that blew the turret off. Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade, one of the country's most battle-hardened units, has once again proven its effectiveness on the front. Formed from experienced fighters, many of them veterans of the Azov Regiment, the brigade has earned a reputation for precision assaults and relentless pressure on enemy lines. In recent operations, its troops have carried out rapid strikes, breaking through fortified Russian positions and inflicting heavy losses. Their tactics combine aggressive maneuvering with coordinated drone and artillery support, overwhelming the enemy before they can regroup. On multiple fronts, the 3rd Assault Brigade has been at the tip of Ukraine's spear, reclaiming territory and driving the occupiers back step by step. Ukrainian officer and military analyst Sazonov says Russia is preparing for a major offensive in the coming months, moving troops, ammunition, and equipment to Donetsk and the Pokrovsk area, including from Crimea and the Zaporizhzhia front. He warns any current talks could be cover for the buildup. Pro-Kremlin mouthpiece Shor wants to create an uprising in Moldova. Pro-Russian fugitive oligarch Elon Shor has announced plans to seize the Great National Assembly Square in Chisinau, offering $3,000 per month to participants in protests he is organizing. Shor, currently in Moscow, created a cryptocurrency to facilitate Russian shadow payments, bypassing sanctions.
Starting from Saturday, they will begin receiving a salary of $3,000 per month. When you come to the square, we will quickly organize the opening of an account for you, and you will receive your salary daily into your account at the rate of $3,000 per month. Yes, I will compensate you for your non-working time, but I will compensate in such a way that starting from Saturday, you will feel the result of the victory that we will soon achieve together. Dear friends, fear we, just see us team, team.
Pro-Kremlin mouthpiece Shor wants to create an uprising in Moldova. Pro-Russian fugitive oligarch Elon Shor has announced plans to seize the Great National Assembly Square in Chisinau, offering $3,000 per month to participants in protests he is organizing. Shor, currently in Moscow, created a cryptocurrency to facilitate Russian shadow payments, bypassing sanctions.
What do you think about the upcoming meeting between Trump and Putin in Alaska?
It will not happen because Trump has already sold everything. Alaska already belongs to Russia, so we need it, and we will not sell anything anymore. Our countries have already sold everything.
And who will cancel it?
President of the Russian Federation, Putin, is the most important for us.
Either a postponement of hostilities or just a payment deferral. You know, like with a loan, payment deferral.
Unless something happens between Russia and the States, but it won't affect Ukraine.
Why do you think so?
Well, because there is an unsolvable situation there. As long as Zelensky and his company, along with the nationalists, do not disappear, there will be war, and they will not enter into any negotiations.
Oh, I hope that Putin will not give up Ukraine, I hope. I really want it to be like Zhirinovsky predicted, Kiev and a little piece there, that's theirs, and everything else is ours. Well, why not? Dnipropetrovsk is the former Yekaterinoslav. Odessa is a Russian city. Kherson is definitely ours. Zaporizhia is also ours. Well, where to? Here, definitely.
Well, I think they will have a very good time, discuss important matters. After all, Alaska is the territory of the United States, right? But it used to be ours. Well, Alaska used to be our territory. Maybe he is not going to America, but to our future territory.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.